Hey, Chris Williams here again, working on making more money in less time. So, as I've said before, I make all my money in less than an hour a day, usually substantially less than that. And I have an amazing process, an amazing team, amazing services that we offer. But that's not why we're here today. We're actually starting from scratch. We're going to build a brand new business or income stream, service or product, something like that, while you're watching. So you can literally follow along and do this step by step with us. So if you want to create a new income stream, an income stream replace completely your current income stream, make even more money, if you want to start something new, but you want to be able to have lots of free time, that's what we're doing here. It doesn't matter what the product or service is. What matters is you. So let's jump in here and remind us a little bit about the last couple of lessons, because today we're literally going to define the product or service as we go through this step by step, day by day process. All right, so if you remember back, let's take a look at this passion, skills, and market worksheet we did a few days ago. So if you do not know what this is, if you're looking at it saying, what is that, Chris? Then go back a couple of days, jump on the YouTube channel or wherever you're listening to this. Make sure you go back a couple of days and get to this thing right here. We like really dove in and we spent 3 days, 3 sessions actually, going through your passions, your skills and abilities, and your market's felt wants or needs. So make sure you go back and review this before we start today. Okay. So we're going to use this today, but we're going to use the information you put in there already. Let's jump over to this thing right here. Defining your product or service is really about where those three areas we talked about, where do they overlap? We talked about a grid last time, kind of a set of filters that filter out. Well, you have a lot of passion for this one area, and then a little bit more narrowed down, a little bit more filtered out as we're filtering the water or the air of our ideas for what we want to do for our new business or income stream. You're thinking, I don't know what to sell. I don't know what service I can provide. I'm not sure what somebody pay me for. This is how you filter that out. So we had some passions and kind of identified what those were for you. And then what are your skills and abilities inside those passions, which narrows it down a little bit more. And then what are the market's wants or needs? What are they actually feeling that they want or need as they go through their day in, day out life? And where those things filter down and get more and more concise and more pure, that's another way to express that is these circles, these concentric circles. They wrap over each other. So we have our passions right here. That's what you're really interested in. And your unique skills or abilities, right? Again, we talked all about that a few days ago. So go back and jump in there. I won't repeat all that for those of you who are tracking day by day. But those unique skills and abilities are super important to identify and really document and write down. And then we have the market's felt wants or needs. Now, I made this market felt want and need section super huge because, quite frankly, this is so important. And it's really easy to write down what your passions are and maybe a few of your skills and abilities. And then you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure the market would want that. If I'm sitting out on my front porch waiting on kids to get home. If I was to say, hey, there's a bird feeder over there in our garden. I have this new amazing bird feeder and I'm going to sell that to the world because I'm super passionate about bird feeders. And this thing refills itself automatically every day, even in a desert. It's amazing. Well, that'd be really cool. But I have to go out there and find out, does the market really feel they have a need for a bird feeder that refills itself even in drought? I don't know. That sounds cool to me, just making it up, but that's the first time I ever thought about that. I got to go out and ask a bunch of people some really good market questions to find that out. So make sure you do the homework. Again, go back several days. We talked through how to do that. If you have any questions about all this stuff, feel free to email me. It's chris.williams@scenthold.com. And I can send you links to past lessons if you can't track them down. Chris Williams HQ is the YouTube channel. And look for More Money, Less Time and a playlist there, and all these videos are listed there. It's free. It's all yours. So take a look in there and ask me questions, shoot me an email, whatever you need to get you through this process. I'll do my best to answer the question, or I'll make a new video and actually explain it to everybody. Because if you ask a question, there's 100 others who have the same question. So Chris, CHRIS Williams, that's WILLIAMS, at Scenthold, that's spelled SENTHOLD.com. Chris.williams@scenthold.com. Shoot me an email. I'll shoot you the templates we're using as well as answer your questions. So right here in the middle, this beautiful little blue section right here, this is your world. This is your product or service. Where your passions, look at that. Hang on, let me make this phone call go away. Where your passions overlap and where your skills and abilities overlap, with the market's felt needs or wants, that is that's where it's at. That's where you're going to find what you're passionate enough about to produce and stick with, because it's a little bit of a long-term process in this. We can get you some money quickly by starting a business, but if you want to really be amazing at it and have the results that I'm having with it, you got to be passionate about it, right? Anybody who's truly excellent at an amazing process or an amazing product, they have passion about it. So where that passion overlaps with that skill and ability, what you already know how to do or what you're passionate enough to learn how to do, and where the market's really feeling that want or need, those things right in there, that is your product. So let's say that you have some experience in cleaning houses. Great skill, great service. Tons of people use that skill and that service. And you're tapped out. Let's say you're already trying to do some work. You have a full-time job. You're cleaning houses or offices on the side. You're doing it on the nights and weekends, and you're trying to figure out how can I create more income, but you're tapped out. You're already working 24/7, it seems like. Well, think about what you get. If you're passionate about that cleaning process and you're passionate about what you're doing, fantastic. You already have a skill and ability. What if you switched from actually doing the cleaning to teaching people how to start a cleaning business? You have a cleaning business. You may not realize it, but if you've got a couple of clients, you've literally got a business. You've figured out how to get those clients. You've figured out the referral process probably. You've figured out how to invoice them or bill them. You've figured out how to collect money from the ones who are overdue. You're figuring it out. You not only know how to do the skill that your business provides, but you know how to run that business. You could teach people how to do that. You could probably go out right now on Facebook and say, hey, I've been cleaning houses for 3 or 4 years. I know how to do it, and I'm looking to train a few other folks how to clean houses. Love to help you out. Shoot me a message. And I bet you'd get some feedback. And you'd quickly be able to start a little business right there in that niche of passion, skill, ability, and the market's felt wants and needs. Because you're not the only person out there who's looking for low to cash. Somebody else didn't want to teach people how to clean houses or offices, but they would love to be able to pick up an extra side job on the weekend. Just an example. I read a case study yesterday of a guy who did hot dog carts. I'd never thought about that, but love getting a hot dog in New York City or wherever I go, and it's great, but I never thought about the profitability of it. But this guy actually did a hot dog cart because he ran out of money. The recession 10 years ago or so hit him, and he had a furniture store, several of them. They went bankrupt or pretty close to it, and he started selling hot dogs just to meet his family's needs. He had a bunch of kids. So pretty soon he figured out he knew how to make a hot dog stand. He knew how to run it profitably. So he started teaching you how to do it. And then he started making a profit on teaching. So it's not necessarily the thing that you do that you can make money at. It's also showing someone how you do the thing that you do. Let's work on a product for a second. Those are services. Let's talk about a product for a second. I guess if you're teaching and building a course, that could be a product. But a product like a bird bath, for instance, let's just keep using that for a minute. If you're passionate about that and the market actually wants it, and you can go out and actually prove and ask a bunch of people who love birds and have great yards and maybe live in Arizona and have that hot desert situation where it's hard to get things refilled, water's at a premium, things are evaporating like crazy, and you figured that out. Then go out there and ask those questions. If you've got the skill and ability to do it, awesome. To make those bird baths, if you've got the passion for it, fantastic. So you can market your product. You could start selling your product online, on Facebook, on a little website, on some little Squarespace website. You can set up for free or for $10 a month. And we'll get into all kind of websites and stuff like that later. But I'm just trying to let you know and kind of give you a vision for you can find what your product or service is. So go back to that list we made a couple days ago. Start comparing. What are those things? What are those products and services that I thought about? What are my passions? And make sure you've done the homework. So if you've done the homework from those 3 days, this will make sense to you. And you'll start seeing a connection. You'll start realizing, hey, I really am passionate about that. And I have some skills and abilities. And I've asked the market 25 or 30 times exactly what their biggest fears and wants and needs are. And I know what they want. And I know I can fix that problem for them. Or if I can't fix it, I know what to go study real quick to be able to figure out that one nuance that I've not had the experience with. That's okay. If you don't already have it all figured out, you can figure it out, I promise. If you've got a passion for it, you'll figure it out way faster than anybody else. Now, a lot of people say, hey, Chris, awesome. I figured this out and I figured out what my market wanted and I've gone and I've looked a bunch of things up. But you know what? There's already like 100 people out there selling the same product or selling the same service online. What am I supposed to do there? That's actually a really good sign. Believe it or not, if you're the first one, the only one in the market, and you can't find anybody else who's actually selling what you're wanting to sell or offering a service that you want to offer, that's kind of scary. You should shy away from that. Every now and then, once in a blue moon, 1 in a million people get to be the first one to market for some new creation that no one's ever thought of. But typically, it takes an enormous amount of capital, an enormous amount of marketing capacity to change a culture and to change the way people think. You want to find something that people already want, already need, and that some people are already doing, and jump on that bandwagon and get to it. So that's it. So get in there, track down those skills and abilities, figure out the market's felt wants and needs, your passion. That middle section right there is the sweet spot. If you've done your homework on the previous days, that section right there is getting more and more clearly defined. If it's not, please shoot me an email. I'll point you in the right direction. But figure this out. Get that passion, skill, and ability. I'm not repeating myself. And please, market felt wants and needs. That's super important. And you'll find that product or service that you need to sell and can sell. All right, in the next video, I'm hoping to do it right now if I've got enough time before kids get home. The next video is going to be exactly figuring out how to price that product, get down to specifics. Like literally, what are you going to offer when you set up a little website or start posting it on social media or start going door to door or calling friends and family? What are you literally going to offer? How are you going to figure out what it's worth? And how are you going to start figuring out a pricing structure for that offer? I call it the minimum viable offer. That's not my term. Lots of people use that term. I'll explain it in the next session, the next day, or next little video. All right, talk to you soon. Again, if you have any questions, chris.williams@scenthold.com. Until next time, see ya, bye.